Welcome back to the Acoustic Shop channel. I am John, and with me today...
You sound so enthusiastic to be here.
Well, unlike every other day, Jeremy is with me here today, and I am enthusiastic. Here. You know why?
Because I'm here.
No, that's not it. It's because we're going to unbox another really cool vintage guitar right here. It is going to be a Gibson J45 ADJ red burst thing.
It's this guitar that John is holding right now. Stay tuned.
So we're back, and we're going to talk vintage guitars, Jeremy.
It is so great to talk about a vintage guitar, a Gibson vintage guitar.
It is.
Before we jump into that, I want to invite you guys to subscribe to this YouTube channel, because this isn't the only vintage guitar we get to talk about and play, and that isn't the only classic song that we get to mangle and destroy. So stay tuned, there is much more. Subscribe, you'll be the first one to hear us mangle some classic tunes.
And as always, you can like, subscribe, share. Please let other people know so we can continue to do this. And like always, at the end of this video, we do have tone or sound samples of this particular guitar at the very end of the video, as well as that performance video that you were referring to.
That is not at the end of this video, but it's in the link down below my feet right now.
A whole nother video.
Scroll down there, there's a link to that whole video of that beautiful, beautiful Danny song that we did.
It was so beautiful. Anyway, now let's talk about guitars, Jer. We're going to talk about this one. We have this marked as a 1965. I'm not totally positive it's a 65, but as always, it is so hard to date these with the serial numbers of Gibson / this plus that plus something else equals what year it is. And I'm not going to claim that I spent as much time on this one as I probably should, mainly because it was a consignment guitar and he told us it was a 1965. So we're going to go with that for right now.
Dating a Gibson guitar is the hardest thing I've ever tried to do.
They're not
hard
nice.
As dating John Mayer. I've heard that's pretty difficult.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Anyway, J45s. This is the quintessential Gibson guitars, the Jumbo. This was actually their run at a dreadnought guitar. You know, when Martin came out with the dreadnought, they called it the D or dreadnought. And Gibson was kind of left to go, I want to catch up because those are such great selling and sounding guitars that we need to build something like it too. So they did. They built the Jumbo. And at the time, this was the biggest guitar in the fleet. Later on, they built the Super Jumbos and all that, the J200, which is a Super Jumbo. But the J45 became the classic Gibson guitar. If you've listened to any of your favorites, including when we're talking stuff like Danny's song and things from that era, as well as even before that, there was a Gibson guitar probably on it, and most likely there was probably a J45 somewhere on that album. These were very, very popular as well as classic sounds, and this particular example has some things that are a little bit different that have changed. It's changed like all other guitar manufacturers. Those classic models have changed from time to time. In this particular one of the big ones that you'll see out front, and it's not marked, some of these are marked as a J45 / or -ADJ. And I had one of the guys in the shop ask me, what is an ADJ? And I had to explain to him, it is an adjustable bridge. Did you know that?
I was going to say that.
Okay, well there you go. This one has the adjustable bridge. These were originally, I believe, most of them ceramic. They made some out of ebony. But the idea was that you could adjust the action just by turning the screws on this. It rested on these two posts and went up and down.
Kind of stole some, maybe from their mandolin department, where they have the adjustable bridges on the mandolin that Gibson also helped develop, so maybe that's where they
It very well could be. Very well
I'm going to say that is what happened.
Well, we're going to go with that. Anyway, you will notice a reverse belly bridge, which is, again, kind of a copy of about a Gibson Martin Dreadnought, just reversed backwards. All you Gibson fans, I'm about to get so much hate mail right now from Gibson fans. Now you will see a lot of these adjustable bridges that people have converted, and it's very, very common to take this out because as cool as it was to be able to adjust it, it also was not the best sound transfer that could be done from the saddle down into the bridge to the top. So you're dealing with the two posts that are actually making contact with the rest of the guitar. So a lot of people have pulled these out and done that extra wide saddle, put a bone in there or something of that nature that's extra wide.
By this age, it may have already replaced the bridge as well and just put a new bridge on there.
Now here's one thing that was also common, and I don't know if you know about this, but Gibson also came up with these two dots. These are not decorative dots. In case you didn't know this, these are actually hiding 2 bolts. One of the other things that's been known about dreadnought guitars for years was they belly up back here and slowly that bridge would come loose. So Gibson's idea to solve that was actually to bolt it to the top. If you could put a mirror under here, you'll see 2 little bolts hidden by these beautiful dots. And what's really funny about this, I think it's hilarious. I have seen so many guitars from the 60s and 70s that were converted and added inlay dots to it. People thought it was just an extra upgrade. It was just hiding those bolts that were holding it in place. Yep. But still very, very cool to see. Another really, well, this one has the white Clouson buttons, the Clouson tuners. This one does appear to be all original, that super thick pickguard in that long form on this particular one. Rosewood fretboard, of course, rosewood or a mahogany back inside, Sitka spruce top. What's a little bit odd about this particular one and was kind of popular in this time period, we've gone through such a transition on neck widths, and you guys at home, you've all got your favorite neck width, and I hear it. I've been hearing them down to the 32nds. I'll be honest with you, I'm not as much of a, I don't concern myself as much with the neck width as the playability, but that's me. I know some people just absolutely have to have.
Say, I need the exact width of that neck. Even if they say this is the width of it, I need you to measure the neck. Tell me how wide it is, because I can't deal with that extra 1/16 of an inch. It hurts my hand. Maybe.
It very well could be.
I'm going to a mandolin. It might feel better.
Anyway, neck widths have been a thing that has kind of changed throughout the decades. I want to say in that turn of the century into the early 30s, the popular neck width was closer to the 1.7/8, with nylon strings being 2 inches on average. Went to 1.7/8 at the nut. Then we went to 1.75. That was very, very popular. I know Martin switched to, I think in 1940, they switched to 11/16, which actually became the standard for almost every guitar manufacturer for a very long time. That said, there was a trend during the 50s and 60s where people wanted even thinner necks. And I actually got to see quite a few Martins and Gibsons and all the various different guitars where people actually whittled down the neck shapes. They wanted smaller shapes all the way around, as well as thinner neck widths. This particular one is factory at 1.9/16. It does feel weird and tiny. It's not that it's unplayable, but it is definitely different. If you are
to like
accustomed,
electric guitar.
well, no, a lot of those were doing 1.75, 1.11/16.
Just very narrow
There's
in the
some,
back.
but it is just, yeah, they a lot more narrow. This is a standard C shape, but because it's so small in width here, it feels tiny in your hands. I mean, it is such a tiny neck. So if you are a person who's always thought, I need something a little bit thinner, less
Maybe
bulk
a mandolin
in the hand,
player.
maybe a
switching back and
mandolin
forth.
player, this might be something that you might want to check out. Now that trend has disappeared. I don't see very many guitars at all being built with a 9/16. In fact, we seem to be trending back towards 1.75 on the majority of guitars, where 11/16 has been a standard for 30, 40 years. Now we seem to be seeing most guitars are coming out in 3/4, and some are doing the 7/8. And like I said, the 32nds in between. I'm seeing quite a bit of that kind of stuff too. So this is a 9/16, feels a little bit odd, but everything seems to be original on this. Again, I didn't get to spend as much time on this guitar before filming this video as I would like, but from what I can see, I believe this to be an all original guitar. Plays really well, exceptional guitar. I actually, of the Gibson guitars, I really like this guitar. Very full, very rich sounding, and definitely a classic kind of thumpy. Yet this one actually has quite a bit of sustain, which is not as common for Gibson guitars, in my opinion. So
I guess some people that aren't real familiar with another difference that Gibson did from the Martin look of the dreadnought is that slope shoulder.
Well, yes, and it kind of take from the original dreadnoughts. They were a slope shoulder that was a 12 fret body, so it sloped it to there, and you'll see quite a few of those 12 fret bodies sloped. They continued that slope shoulder, but they did it at the 14th fret, which became the common shape for the traditional dreadnought as well. So those who believe that the jumbo bodies of Gibson are not dreadnoughts, They basically are. They're their version of it. I mean, there's various different
What I love
runs
on
of dreadnoughts.
The internet is we'll have a civil discourse about
There's going to
whether
be
or not you were correct
so
with that.
much horrible comments about me, and people are going to think I hate Gibson guitars. It's not true. I actually love
gonna
Gibson
say,
guitars.
he's a bluegrasser, of
He's
course.
a bluegrasser. I don't like those. No, actually, I love Gibson guitars. I have a slope shoulder actually that I play quite often, but it is a different sound, a different character, and to say that it was not inspired by the that's just the way it is. It's just inspired by the dreadnought. I'm sorry, but the J45, very very classic guitar. Cool cherry burst on this particular one. Small neck width, but other than that, all the main features of a J45 you would want, and this particular piece, very very in good player condition, and it's all here.
Well, let's hear it.
All right.
Hey, thanks for watching that video that we just did. I'm going to make this universal so we can use it on all the videos.
Good
I hope
plan.
you enjoyed that thing that I said. And if you'd like to see more things like that, then subscribe down below where it says subscribe. You'll be notified anytime we do another video.
And while you're at it, make sure to check out our website, theacousticshoppe.com. We have free shipping on most products and one of the best return policies in the country.
We know what it's like to buy an instrument online. You never know what you're going to get. When you get it, if you're not happy with it, send it back to us. We're not going to be mad at you.
No.
We'll be a little disappointed in you, but no. We want you to find the right instrument, and there's no way to know until you try it. So we encourage you to try it out, play it, and then if it's not the right fit, we'll find the one that is.
There we go.
Also, be sure to comment down below. We love to interact with you guys. It's not a one-way street here.
No.
You get to say things, we get to say things back to you. If we say mean things, we're going to say mean things back. So.
We may or may not do that. Anyway, we thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.